for us, as I said, drawings and all are very important. And even the personal data, because as a German-based company, for us, even a date of birth of an employee is so important that it has to be kept in encrypted forms. In India, these laws are not there, but in Germany, we have certain laws where if you leak a person's information, it is, he can take you to court. So these kind of things are there, which we are also following in India because we are liable and we have a lot of employees who come from Germany. But as rightly said by Mr. Akshay, in companies like Bosch, where we have a lot of information already available in the company, the right information at right time is something which is very important. Even though we know that information is available, but when it is required by a certain employee, he don't get that information. He is not able to pull out. So data management in a proper way is the need of our today. Even though we have a giant internet, in front of us, but the specific to industry, the information what we have, that is something which we should be able to pull out at the right time. So that is a very important part for our kind of industry. And also one point which is, I think is not touched upon is knowledge management. And with the increased attrition rates in companies, specifically, in northern areas we have high attrition rates. So there, whatever training we are providing to our employees and whatever knowledge is there available with them, if an employee leaves, then all information goes along with that person. So there is a need of having kind of knowledge portals where information, whatever is there with the people who are there in our companies, that doesn't go along with that. So whatever he has learned or acquired as R&D and innovation, that thing remains with the company. Now today we are having this as a challenge that if an employee leaves, all the information what he had in his mind and the experience goes along with him. So there are companies who are going in for CIA exam awards and all that, and there this has become a key topic. Knowledge management itself has become a topic where companies are doing big things to retain and to keep the knowledge which is available with the employees. Because it's difficult to retain employees because of the such a dynamic market, but at least the knowledge what they have should be kept with the company. It should not go. So that is a major loss which a company faces as on date. And for us, like manufacturing companies where we are mainly into innovation, for us these things are very important. We are not like IT industries where we are solely dependent on hands and software development or something like that. But for us, the information and knowledge, we have trained those people on certain technologies. That is very important for us. And that's it from my side. And any questions if you have, you are open.
Well, you just talked about this knowledge management. I'm thinking about this thing that how this knowledge is to be retained, because knowledge is something which is very personal or something in your mind. Hard skill, okay, you can retain that thing, or technology you can retain that thing, but soft skill or by talent, how you are retaining that knowledge comes from that thing.
See, I got your question. Soft skill is something different which is personal. I'm not talking about soft skills. I'm talking about technical knowledge which a person is having. And the knowledge what is there in the minds of the people, that has to be retained, that has to be stored somewhere. Okay, that is why that is a challenge for our companies, and all IT industries are talking about lot of devices and XYZ tools which are coming out, but we have to think about in such directions where we can store the information which is there in the minds of the people and ask them compulsorily to put in those portals. And we want them to put that information in those portals so that company can use it in future. That is what we are looking for, and these kind of solutions are not readily available currently in No, there are some companies who are doing great job as far as knowledge management is concerned, but I have not seen many companies doing it currently. So that is a key area of concern for us, big giants like MNCs like Bosch. We have this as a concern, and that is what we are looking forward for, having more of such tools available in the market which can help us in these things.
Thanks, Madam Madhukapta. Just to add a point on the knowledge management, just think of a scenario in health industry. If somebody goes for some problem and some diagnosis is made and some pathological things, say like if you are going for a MRI of a brain and some tumorous cells are there, whether it can be cured by a medicine or it has to go by an operation, doctor has to decide on that. See, it's over experience and it's very subjective, the decision doctor may take on that. See, if we can refer to what are the similar decision taken in the past, or if we can say give a particular image as a query into that, whether there are any similar things, cases have occurred in the future, or a thing, or any expert might be there in the particular field who must have taken similar type of images, similar problem identified, gets back that what are the action taken, what was the end effect of it, he can refer to that. That may be very helpful for the doctors to make decisions. Similar to that, in any places you have that particular scenario and the decision taken has to be preserved in the knowledge management point of view. Then I will request Mr. Radhi to share his views.
Yeah, I'll keep this time pretty short. So people are okay. Actually, bring the knowledge and data management to our perspective. I don't want to talk too much about the databases or the processing algorithms that go through, because Akshay talked about it, and Mr. Sai talked about it, Aditi talked about manufacturing industry, sensitivity part of it and all that. See, all of us, what is the data? And think about all of you, all of us. What do we do from morning to evening? Where is the data? So let's talk about that data. And I have 3 sections that I talk through. One is what is the data that is actually relevant for us at different stages of our life, or even during the day. And then the technology layers, like okay, this data where it is getting stored, or how it is accessed, and all that, and on what forms or whatever. And the third one, I talk about skills required for using this, or for enabling something, or opportunities that are out there, because you guys are all students and wondering, okay, that tool, this tool, but what should I do? Where should I be doing research, or where should I be passionate about, or what should be I looking at, what this paper meant for me, or what this discussion meant for me. So that is one more section I'll just brief from my point of view. Okay, coming to the definition of data, it's completely from my perspective. On personal data management, basically, what is data for you? Wherever you work on a computer, you create a data. Whatever form you fill, you create a data. So whether you give it to somebody, whether it is with you. So the data, that files, physical or digital files, and then wherever you see, we have seen since morning, so many photographs have been taken of a lot of people. And then who's there in each photo? That's the data again, right? And then videos. In every occasion you take a video. So the data is created at every instance of our passage, whatever we do. And then whenever you email, it could be Gmail, it could be Outlook, or it could be anywhere. So emails is one more form of storing a lot of data, conversations, network, people, right? And then a lot of knowledge inside the data as well. And then comes like social networking, which is very popular, at least most of the auditorium. Twitter, Facebook, how much of data you might be created in Facebook. Imagine how many photos you would have uploaded, how many peaks or messages you would have sent across chat and Twitter, for example. Everybody is busy on a BlackBerry Twitter or an iPhone Twitter all the time, and they keep creating a lot of news, you keep forwarding stuff, It's all a data that is created and which is related to you. It's not for related to some company out there. It's not related to somebody out there. It's all related to you. You're reading, you're forwarding, you're creating and all that. And then apart from that, as we go along, you have friends, you have earlier friends are, you go to some place, then you meet them, otherwise call upon a landline. But you tell me now, you meet people, make friends on a Facebook whom you have never seen physically, and you make a network. Now I came to this conference, I meet certain students and I make a friends of them, and then we are in touch. So this is also one of the data that you create for your life. So similarly than the web, whatever you serve, wherever you serve, you create a data again there in terms of your knowledge, or it could be related to your job or whatever.
Hi student. Which year mostly? Fourth year? Second? Mostly second? Okay, a lot of time left for college to complete. So I hope the 5 minutes I'm going to spend in some way are helpful to all of you, so you can shape up your next 2 years learning something that is more relevant to the industry. Data management, as we call it, what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to focus on a vertical. Data management happens in various verticals. We run a portal called cardekho.com. Have you heard of cardekho.com? Yeah, great. So that's India's top auto portal at this stage, and a need arose for us to manage data there. So I'm just going to share my experience on that front and what were the parameters and stuff that we used to basically manage our data. And that's probably the generic platform we can probably use across any vertical. But there are parameters that we use to evaluate, how to manage our data. That's what we are going to discuss quickly. When we started basically Cardekho and leads started flowing in, we had to capture those leads somewhere. And lead had a flow, and every business has some different flow. Every business can have, okay, the data would move from here, it will go to other person, he will enrich this data and it will move on to another one. So there is a business process behind every company or every business, that happens. And whenever it happens, you need to manage the data. In businesses like ours, a vertical that comes up for managing the data is called CRM. Have you heard of CRM? CRM? Yeah, so good that all of you know. So such tools basically help you manage your data more efficiently, and that's what we started researching on once we came across the situation where we had to manage the leads that were flowing into the system. What were the things that we had in mind? The CRM that we choose had to be scalable. Say if the load increases, so we don't have to change our CRM tool that we choose. We had to choose a scalable system. So one important aspect when we manage data is called scalability. Other is called reliability. It had to be up 24 hours. We could not afford to have it down. Can you have your business to be down for even an hour? So that's where other parameter was reliability. And third parameter that we were using was security. Any data that comes into the system had to be secure. So all these things basically kept in mind while managing our data helped us come to a point where we had to choose the right CRM system that will help us make good sale. Finally, why we manage all this data is to basically put everything in a process so that we can measure every single step. And measurement is what drives you to sale. If you are not able to measure your processes, there are no sales that can happen. A very popular CRM you may call in the world, do you know the name? Salesforce. Have you heard Salesforce? Salesforce? It's a very big giant out there, and they have billions of dollars of revenues, valuations that they have just on a tool called Salesforce. All the big giants across the world use that tool. It's an expensive tool also, and I'm sure Mr. Diwan would be able to throw more light on that system because he has used a lot of it. So when we came to choosing our system, we did not have that much cash to basically go about doing Salesforce. So we chose an open source system called Sugar CRM. It's a PHP based system. We had to have access level. So who can see what data? So data, when you manage the data, you have to have security, not only from the standpoint that data does not get stolen, but who can see what. So I don't want the executive to see all the pan-India leads that are coming to us, right? It had to be only his leads. His manager could see all the executives that are reporting to him leads of his team, and then his manager could see all the managers reporting to him. So all such things basically had to be kept in mind while designing the solution, and that's how we were able to architect a solution that could give access levels and that could help us drive our business. So when I talk about scalability, reliability, there is a term called cloud computing that has come along, which basically offers you both of them in a very efficient manner, makes the systems more scalable, makes the systems more reliable by creating a redundancy, as well as giving you infrastructure on demand. Say if you need more memory, you can just at the runtime take more memory. So it's infrastructure as a service. Anyway, not to make it more very technical, because I understand it's the first, second year. What you should probably focus on in next 2-3 years, whatever are left for you in the college, knowing about the industry, what tools we are using, why we need to manage data. Probably from your perspective, that is going to be important. What is scalability, what is reliability, and how we achieve that. If you can have a sense of that before you enter the industry, that will be helpful definitely. I don't have that much time to cover a whole lot on this topic, so I'll not focus on that part. What I can say is that there is a huge domain out there in data management and a big career out there in data management. Security as well. When I talk about security, apart from the access levels I was talking about, security also talks about encryption of data and how to basically make sure right people are accessing your data. So there are a lot of algorithms built, IDs built, and devices, hardware built already, and innovation is already happening at this stage as I talk. So I think from the 5 minutes I have, I would just like to cover that data management is a very important aspect to run any business, and that is a field that you can have a great career in as well. Data security is again a very important feature for any organization as such, and I think it's a great field to enter. CRMs is a big vertical, a lot of CRMs out there, so you can probably choose which one you like, which technology you like, and probably go after it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Amit, for sharing a practical case study on your organization. Now I'll invite Mr. Arunab Jain to share his views.
Hi everyone, I am Anurag, the founder of Greenhouse. We are running behind schedule. I will not take a lot of time. So, a lot of people talked about enterprise, public key, private key encryption, storing of data, security of data, scalability, reliability. I'll probably just put it in simple words. There are two ways to look at the data. One is the corporate responsibility, where the organizations are responsible for storing the data, keeping it secure, using whatever methods and algorithms it takes to keep them secure. The other is social responsibility, which lies on all of you people. We can talk about all the great things, what algorithms, how to extract data, but do you know what's the most common form of stealing data? It's simply shooting out an email to thousands of people that please share back your email passwords or bank passwords and fill out this form, make phishing sites. We are still at a level where people, almost 1 to 2% people respond back to these emails with their data. So the social awareness needs to be there for capturing this sense that there are phishing sites, scams running. You'll get SMSs that you won a lottery. You'll get emails that there is some money lying in the bank account in Nigeria. And there are people who are gullible to fall trap to that. So I'll briefly like to touch upon that point, that it's also individual's responsibility to protect his data. Do you know why data is important to people? No. Data is nothing but a user. A user is a consumer. And all these organizations in the world are targeting you. The most popular company right now, Google, 95% of its revenues are from ad revenues. And ad revenue is just marketing products to people. So data is very important from all perspectives. From the perspective of these organizations are gunning for you. Why everybody is coming to India? Because you have a large population. There is a huge consumer segment here. So it is your responsibility to protect your data. All these social media platforms, Facebook, etc. It is your privacy settings that matter to you the most, not to anybody else. I read in the papers yesterday that there was a Bangalore girl who committed suicide because her boyfriend said on Facebook that he had broken up with her. That is how people are sensitive to data, and so should you. So please be careful about your data and also share with others, whomever you know that you should be sensitive to your data. Organizations are obviously responsible for being sensitive to the overall data that they are storing, but so should you be. I'll just like to conclude on that now.
It's a very important point. The awareness has to be there in terms of security. For an example, now if you are having an Android phone and you are syncing that Android phone with Gmail, all your contacts are into your Gmail. Right, all your contacts for the phone numbers are into Gmail. If anybody hacks your Gmail, all your contacts have been taken out, or even that contact can be misused or maybe used for telemarketing and type of such also they may be using it. Thanks, Mr. Arnuj. I will invite Mr. Ajay to share.
Good afternoon. I'm sure all of you must be feeling very tired and sleepy now. So I'll try not to delve into many technical terms, nor try to make the topic heavy, just to make the interaction light and simple, keep the session interactive. I'll try to cover on the basics. Why? Because I myself am a mechanical engineer. I graduated in 2000, and since then I've been working in the IT industry. I mean, of course, I wanted to go to mechanical industry, but somehow I got placed into IT, and since then I've been in this industry. So, we've been talking about data and knowledge management. So, why do you think that is important to us? To me, everything is actually data. There is nothing else, it's just data. So, when Mr. Bhargav yesterday called me up, and he told me about the topic that we are going to discuss in this conference. It was only then when I realized that throughout my career, all these software applications that I've been working on since last 11 years, each and every activity that we do on a day-to-day basis, in fact, it's not just IT, but the daily activities. We are actually relying on data. We receive data as an input, we process it, we generate the output, and that's how the information flows. So, let me just quote you a big man. He said something like this. I don't remember it, so I'll have to read it out for you. Yeah. So, this person is Lee Albert Hall. He said, like water, this rising tide of data can be viewed as an abundant, vital and necessary resource. With enough preparation, we should be able to tap into that reservoir and ride the wave by utilizing new ways to channel this raw data into meaningful information. Now, this information can then